What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Swing for the Fences show. Gary's back. AP's on the show. Big boy slate. We got 12 games today. AP, I'll throw it to you first because the first comment you put in chat, here it is, $88 ticket giveaway. Thailand. What was he doing there? Wrong answers only. AP's favorite 4 responses win. AP, you've been on absolute fire. Give it back to the community, which you love to do. Talk about that a little bit. How was your Tuesday afternoon going?
Yeah, I mean it's been a fun ride so far. Just thinking back to that NBA slate where that last play, I went from the 100K down to second place, but I really can't complain. The other day, just if we get one more inning from Scherzer, I'm right up there. But again, it's all. I mean, Tato, you know what these heaters are like. You just got to ride them out. Oh, yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm not upping my stakes or anything like that. I'm staying within, my bankroll management strategies, and I want to give back. I did that on Mother's Day on Sunday, and created a lot of good mojo. We had a lot of good success over at Rumpier Sports and in the Discord. And Title, our boy Gary is back in the States. And what happened yesterday? Gary leaves, and the Braves just suck. I mean, the offense was gone. It was just terrible. Gary gets back. His first, lands, and what happens? The Bravos are back, and they absolutely shipped, and they went nuts. Title, before I give it back to you, we got one winner. Let me find this one because I was absolutely dying. Let me pull it up. Gary was in Thailand performing circumcisions. So Riley Golf Pro, you get a ticket. Hit me up. I sent you a message. Send me your Venmo or PayPal. The 88's filling up, so I'm gonna fire these and get our winners really quickly. And good stuff. But Riley, you're the first winner. Let's go.
Yeah. So drop. What was he doing? The wrong answers only. AP will pick 3 more throughout the show. Yeah. Shout out to you, AP. Don't have to do that. Yeah, ride the heater. But like you said, bankroll management, that's the most important thing. A lot of people have had very big hits and multiple of them and went broke throughout the years of DFS. It's a tough game. Stick with your same bankroll win. Whether you are winning on a heater or on a downswing, that's how you survive in this game. Gary, loving the hat. Thailand, how was it? Tell the people a little bit about that. Nice to have you back talking some baseball.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Went for work. Unfortunately, I don't. Y'all can probably tell the way I'm talking a little bit. I got diagnosed with Bell's palsy while I was there last week. So I got a little droop in my lip there. My speech is a little off. It's gonna get better.
Yeah, we can.
We're gonna ship tonight, and it's gonna make that all go away. I've been in the Discord a little bit. I had access while I was gone, and man, it's just been a heater. And NBA and MLB the last 2.5 weeks. I'm pretty sad I missed out on all the cheese, but we're back, and it's time to keep it going. AP's been on the monster heater, ready to keep it going tonight. And yeah, I called everybody was shitting on Austin Riley last night in the Discord, and I was in Atlanta airport, and I said, hey, Austin Riley's going to hit a dong for us tonight. And yeah, man, he almost didn't. It was like the 7th or 8th inning, but he finally got it together, hit his dong. I think the Braves hit 5 2-run shots last night. Not really going to be on my Braves too much here tonight, but I wouldn't hate you for it. But yeah, ready to get into this slate and pick some winners.
Yeah, absolutely. Love having you back, Gary. Yeah, we can understand. You're all good. Get better. We're picking winners. Nice to have you back.
I got to say one thing. Yep. You got to have Venmo or PayPal. I don't do the Zelle. So, Riles Golf Pro, if you can get the Venmo or PayPal to work, that's better. Brad Moore, second winner. Gary was there to learn Muay Thai, so we can properly settle any future DFS beefs. So I like that one. Not bad. Hit me up, and we'll get these tickets going.
AP, I like it. 12 games. Utah, let's start 8K and above at pitching. I locked my girlfriend out, so I'll be right back in 10 seconds. You start 8K and above at pitching, though, AP.
Yeah. So, pitching on these slates has been really, really interesting, really important. Projections across the industry, I think they've been kind of all over. We got Captain. We got him really working on dialing in his projections. We got our guys JT Hayes, Steve Boynton helping out with him. I've been loving Captain's projections, but I go through my whole process. I want to see what the lineup is. I mean, we all get the projected lineup. Sometimes the actual lineup that comes out is a little bit different. We could get that tonight with Cleveland, obviously. I think Jose Ramirez is going to be out tonight. But just starting off, looking at this does seem like a slate where we're going to want to spend up at pitching. We got Kershaw, who's been absolutely dialed. You're talking a 3.3 xFIP, just under 30% strikeout rate. He's limiting walks to opposing hitters at under a 5% clip, and he's limiting hard hits too. Kershaw looks absolutely dialed, and I love this Twins team right now. I'm fine with targeting them. I like the Dodgers are just dialed right now. They're running really good. This Twins team striking out at a 23% clip. The other two things I like to look at, ISO, WOBA, and the metrics look good. I think this is going to be a really good spot for Kershaw. Should get some ownership. Gausman. So the thing about this series is I think his leash should be really long tonight. You're talking another 2.6 xFIP, 34% strikeout rate, one of the highest, if not the highest on this slate. A matchup that we don't typically want to target. I think it's a great spot for Gausman. I think maybe we get him at lower ownership. If you're spending up, I think those are going to be two very nice options. Almost likely be under on Verlander. And then Castillo, this Boston lineup is going to be pretty tough, I think, on him. I don't like whenever you get a lefty-heavy lineup with him, he's historically struggled with lefties. That's what we should expect from Boston tonight. I'm going to be under on him, preferring the other two aces that we mentioned.
Yeah, great breakdown. Gary, I'll throw it to you. Pitcher, there's a lot of good options. I think Javier comes in as the most popular. Man, on a slate where there's multiple options that you can see matching him, I don't think even the chalk's definitely necessary. Talk a little bit about Castillo, Wheeler, what you see AK and above that pitcher, Gary.
Yeah, I'll start off with Javier here. I'm seeing 45, 50% ownership on him here. Man, 9,600. I'd rather get up to Gausman. I'd rather get up to Kershaw at much less ownership here. And I'd also rather go down to Zach Wheeler. I really like Zach Wheeler in this spot. So I'm probably just going to fade. I'm going to fade Javier tonight and live with Gausman, Kershaw, and Wheeler. Those are going to be my top three studs here tonight. And that's probably about the extent of my ownership up here in the above 9.2K. Going down a little bit, Jordan Montgomery is probably my favorite point per dollar pitcher on the slate. 7,400 pitchers against the lefties against the Brew Crew. I've just been owning them. 7,400 is just really cheap. I'm seeing 15% ownership on him, and that's pretty nice. I like that. I don't know if it's going to hold true, but definitely like it. Seth Lugo, maybe. It's Kansas City outside of the new Coors Field while I was gone, apparently. Mm-hmm. Don't hate that, but probably won't go there. I'm probably just going to live with Kershaw, Gausman, Wheeler, and Montgomery as my main four. But, man, I know what AP said about Castillo and this Boston lineup. Boston came alive while I was gone. But Castillo's got the third highest swinging strike rate on the slate. He's got the third or fourth highest CSW percentage on the slate. I mean, he could dominate. He could come out here and dominate, get a 30-piece pretty easy out of nowhere, and I'm seeing 1% ownership. So something to take in consideration there. I'll probably sprinkle him in my 20, probably about 20%, just to get over the field on him. But like I said, I'm going to be heavy on Kershaw, Gausman, Wheeler, and Montgomery.
Before I get to AP, we find out who's winning tickets. He's laughing some of the comments in chat, Gary. Rank those four pitchers, and then we know your four. Rank them, then we got your whole pitching takes.
All right, so I'm going to go Wheeler 1, Kershaw 2, Gausman 3, Montgomery 4.
Nice.
I actually missed out on a few guys that I'm on, and I'm locked arm in arm with Gary. Like I think Javier profiles very well for what I'm looking at. And then Zach Wheeler against this Giants squad. I mean, they're striking out at over a 25% clip as well. So I can definitely get behind him. I mean, I got some pretty contrarian value pitching takes that will be interesting. But on the surface, like if you're playing 3-max, if you're playing, a single entry like the 121 is a great contest. I usually try to hop in that every night. And our boy Steve Boynton in the chat making fun of me because I would have shipped that if I would have hopped in that the other day, but I didn't, like an absolute donkey. If you're playing that, I do think the prudent thing to do tonight is to spend up, and we should be able to find some bats to make it work. There's like a free bat in Coors that we're going to talk about, and there's other cheapies to make it work with your primary stacks.
Yeah, there's always cheap bats, and Coors is a little underpriced for sure. So I agree. I think spending a pitcher, Jordan Montgomery, as Gary said, if I do go down, would be my favorite as well. So AP, rank your favorite pitchers. We got Gary's rankings. Give me your top three.
Yeah, I got it. Kershaw, Gausman, Wheeler, the top three.
Like
then I got a guy that's, I believe, under 8K that actually he's right at 8K. Did you say 8K and up, or what did you say?
Hey, go talk about 8K and below now. Gary already mentioned his. He doesn't really like anyone but Montgomery. Do you have what stands out 8K and below for you?
Yeah, so just like watching my Royals, obviously they're on a road trip right now, and I think one edge you can get, one thing, these new rules, I freaking love watching baseball now. You can pull up multiple games, and the games don't last long. There's action constantly. It's far more enjoyable for someone like me that it's like I'm watching every single NBA game that I can, and MLB used to take kind of a back seat. Not the case anymore, not at all. And watching my Royals, I do watch them quite often, even though they suck. Mm-hmm. Their bats were alive, but man, they looked terrible yesterday. I think this is going to be a tough road. Sometimes you just know with the team. Like Vinny right now is like 1 for 19, 1 for 20. He's ice cold. Salvi was like lifting him up, but he didn't look that good yesterday at the plate. Sometimes on these road trips, it's just the team doesn't have it. I don't think the Royals are going to have it this trip. I think Seth Lugo, man, he's been pitching really well. I think he's a safe option. The strikeout rate is fine. When I did a deep dive, and so shout out to Steve Boynton and JT Hayes, they got me in on these deep dives. The thing about Lugo that I really like right now is his curveball. The placement of his curveball is absolutely dialed. I think it's going to be a pitch that this Royals lineup really struggles with tonight. So a contrarian mid-range option that you can go to in Seth Lugo. I played him a couple times this season, and he's fared pretty well for me. Now, this next one's going to be – this is more of like when you're targeting multi-entry, like a 20 max, definitely 150. And honestly, I might get made fun of it for this one because he looked so bad in his last outing, who was against my Kansas City Royals, and that's Lance Lynn. He looked like when I watched that game, Lynn just looked annoyed. He looked really annoyed, when he was out there on the mound. And I think Kansas City just, had his number that outing. If you go back to his last two starts, he wasn't terrible at all. His four seam's been really good. The velocity's fine. The placement has been really good. He's generating a lot of whiffs as well. And so I think Lance Lynn against what we should have a very watered down Guardians lineup, I think is going to be a really contrarian play. Underneath, like his numbers aren't bad. 4.1 xFIP, 27% strikeout rate. Limiting hard hits a little bit, and then he's been kind of unlucky too on the season. So if you're with me, if you want kind of a volatile guy, Lance Lynn's your guy. In the 88 that I'm running tonight, I'm definitely going to have him in at least one or two of my builds.
I do like that call on Lynn. I was talking to Steve earlier. Obviously, J Ram's out of the lineup. The lineup is out. They got some rookie up there. He's just a singles hitter. He's been pretty good. But over the last 2 weeks, looking at the hand in this chart, I mean, this Cleveland team, who normally doesn't strike out, has struck out the 11th most against right-handed pitching, and they're a bottom two offense against righties the last 2 weeks. I forgot to mention Lynn, but I do like Lynn here quite a bit as well.
I like it. AP, does that crack your give us top four pitchers?
Yeah, so, outside of the ones I listed, which was Kershaw, Gausman, Wheeler, I do like Lugo quite a bit. The one I didn't mention, because title, I didn't want to upset you, but anytime we get a lefty that is at all decent against your Brew Crew, I'm always playing them. I played that lefty against the Brew Crew and in Coors, and it worked out well for me. They're just striking out again. Like, it's just when you look at their numbers, they just have not been good at all against lefties. And so, like, I do have a little bit of interest in Jordan Montgomery. But then Lance Lynn would, after Lugo, it would be Lance Lynn in tournaments, and then Montgomery after that.
I like it. AP, before we get to the bets, have we got a second winner yet? Or are we
I'm working on getting some payments out right now. We had those 2 winners. I'm shipping the money right now. My boy, so I saw my boy Jay Douglas in chat, Jeremy Douglas, my Memphis brother. I got to give one to him. He's been showing a lot of love with the retweets and a lot of positive energy. So I don't recall a good mention from him. He's also having a baby. So Jay Douglas, congrats to you and your wife. I'm going to ship one your way just to keep the mojo running hot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jay Douglas, he's been around for a long time, always out there giving good mojo, positivity. Shout out to the new baby as well, Jay Douglas. All we appreciate in this show, on here every single day for free. All we ask from you is the like button. It takes 2 seconds. When you do hit that like button, big red subscribe button as well. Helps us out a ton. And if you do want to join Run Pure Sports, the Up to Lock show today, Up to Lock shows every day, which is a premium product. The NBA Showdown, we got that today. Golf, huge week. MLB, of course. MMA, all sports, one price. Head over to runpuresports.com. Use promo code Gary15. Get you 15% off. SaberSim's also included in the first month, or you can use that promo code for SaberSim your first month as well. Gary, I'll start with you. Game by game, AP's getting some payments out. First game of the night, New York Yankees, Toronto Blue Jays, Domingo Germán, Kevin Gausman on the mound. Not one of the best games on the slate. Both teams will be low owned if you stack them. Any interest in this first one, Gary?
Yeah, unfortunately, this game's not going to give AP much time to get these payments out because I don't have interest in either team. I think it would be the Blue Jays if I had to pick. I mean, I like Gausman quite a bit here, so definitely no stacks of the Yankees here today for me. And I'm going to be staying away from Toronto here too.
I agree with you. AP, is this a pass too, or you like either of these teams?
I mean, I'm not going to play the Yanks here. I mean, do you guys have any do you guys have any thoughts on Aaron Judge? I mean, I'm sure you guys saw the videos and everything going around.
Something's happened. I mean,
you think so? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if the
are you saying like
people are going to go back and watch more videos in the past, and if more and more stuff like that comes out, but the one video, I'm not. I mean, he looked over for a little. I mean, I don't know. I'm not jumping to conclusions yet.
Yeah, every team's looking for an edge. Every team is looking for an edge right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I can't go. We were on the Yanks yesterday. They were really low owned, which was really nice. Going to be really low owned again. If you think Judge is doing something, you got to think if he is doing something, he's not going to do it tonight, like at all. So yeah, I think Gausman. I think he has a nice day. Germán, he's been like good enough to where I don't really want to target him. And then if you're watching yesterday that game, I was high on the Blue Jays against Brito, who's the long reliever. That was like a tough spot. I was actually talking to JTAs about that. I'm like, we saw this a few times last year where these young guys, what they did is they brought him in as more of a long reliever, and it actually like helped them out something with their confidence, just like getting them going and kind of throwing the other team, the opposing team off. We saw that yesterday with the Blue Jays. They looked lost until late in that game. So I think like Germán is good enough to where I'm fine moving off the Blue Jays, and there's other better spots too. And it's not like, I mean, some of these price tags on the Toronto side are fairly cheap. I guess like you could do what I did yesterday. You go Brandon Belt, Kiermaier if you wanted to as like cheap one-offs, but that's it feels kind of thin and probably as deep as I'd go.
I don't even know Brandon. I don't think Belt's in the lineup.
Oh yeah, no, he's not. It's Biggio. Kiermaier is though. I always like Kiermaier against a righty as kind of a one-off.
Yeah, makes sense. You go to the bottom order. Everyone in that game pretty much will be low on, but don't think it's the best spot. We got a lot of games on the slate. Next one, a little more interesting. Picking on Nick Pivetta has been something I've done a little bit. Mariners, Red Sox, 9.5 total. Luis Castillo, Nick Pivetta on the mound. Mariners are going to get some ownership. There is no doubt about that. AP, I'll start with you. Do you like yourself any Mariners? Then I assume you're not picking against Castillo.
Yeah, I think we can, like you said, pick on Pivetta. The numbers don't look too great. 5.2 xFIP. Strikeouts have been fine, but he's given up a lot of hard hits. to both sides of the plate, actually. So yeah, I prefer some of these Mariners lefties, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go like a full stack. I think the way for me with this team, maybe a little mini stack, with preferring kind of lefties. I mean, I'm curious to see what you guys think about going real deep down there to like the 8 and 9. You got Colton Wong, who's 2-2. Like the thing about spinning up at pitching today that I think is really interesting is there's going to be so many different ways to make it work if you're comfortable with some of these cheaper bats that we're going to see. I think this is a spot where you could definitely consider it on the Mariners side. You could even do like a wraparound stack. Like I don't love JP Crawford, but he's 3-3 and he's leading off.
Yeah.
You could go 9-1, and then you can always play Julio Rodriguez. So like you could go like 8-9-1 and then 3-4. I think it would be an interesting stack if you want a 5-man stack. So and I love this park. We obviously all love stacking up Fenway. So yeah, I could definitely get behind some plays here. But I think what you do, avoid the chalky plays. One way to do that, people hate playing the bottom of the order. I love these wraparound stacks. I run them all the time. That would be my preference.
Yeah, I think wraparound's definitely in play in this one with Crawford leading off, fill out the shortstop position. I still don't think like Crawford's going to be pretty highly owned. I mean, yeah, maybe in Seattle stacks, but the wraparound I definitely do like. Gary, what do you like at Fenway?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle is surprisingly my favorite stack on the slate. I'm going to be jamming them in, probably my main team here. Pavetta has the second highest exit velocity allowed on the slate on the season, and the second highest barrel percentage on the season on the slate as well. We also have winds blowing out to right center, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Sets up really nice for the lefties in particular. JP Crawford, Jared Kellenick's definitely going to hit a bomb tonight. He's my bomb call of the day. And I think Kyle Riley's going to get one too. So I'm going to focus on Crawford, France, Kellenick, and Raleigh. Those are going to be my four main guys, and I'll be mixing in Julio and Teoscar and Suarez. I just can't with Colton Wong and Trammell. I could find other cheap guys in my mini stack to fill those out. So I get the wraparound idea, but man, Wong and Trammell have just been really bad. So yeah, I love this. I love the Mariners here. They are my favorite 5-man on the slate. And I mean, man, the Boston side, I'm not going to personally pick on Luis Castillo, but they have been hot since I've been gone. Just been hitting the ball all over the place. Like I said, we got wind blowing out to right center, which is good, really good for all the lefties. So it could be a bomb fest here in Boston tonight.
Absolutely. Joey Workin, chat. What's going on, Joey? Very funny on the Up to Lock show yesterday. Did a great job hosting that. Uncle T in here as well. Appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us. Again, all we do ask from you is a like button, big red subscribe button. Go ahead, AP.
Title, for our last ticket, we got to go Stephen Coy. Coy is in chat all the time, bringing the positive mojo, my guy. I like this too. I mean, it's probably true. What do you think, Gary? Does this line up quite well with your trip?
Yeah. It absolutely does. Absolutely does. Coy always deserves some positive mojo going his way.
Absolutely.
I love that 88 tonight. I think it's a good tournament. 20K up top. Always a fun one to play. Even if you're only you don't need to max it. Like you can run 3 to 5 in there. That's perfect strategy. I do that all the time.
You can just run one as well. Stephen Coy got that ticket. Hey, take it down. It only takes one. That's all you need. Shop. Congrats. What is that? Is that all 4 tickets, AP?
Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to you again, AP. You didn't have to do that. Been right in the heater in MLB and NBA. Very nice giving back to the people. Good luck to you guys in that contest tonight. We'll keep it rolling. Gary, next game on the slate, Tampa Bay Rays, New York Mets. Not really a good one. Not one I'm interested in. The Mets, long reliever, Chirinos. Yanni Chirinos for the Rays, Justin Verlander for the Mets. What you got, Gary?
I mean, I would prefer to play Tampa Bay if I was going to go here. But I'm showing less than 3% ownership on all the Tampa Bay Rays. They've just been hitting the ball really good this year. But I won't go there tonight on tonight's slate against Verlander. Just too many other spots I like. And the same pretty much for the Mets. Like the Mets have been pretty underwhelming so far this season, outside of maybe Alonso and Lindor and Nimmo. Those three have been pretty good. But on a slate this big, I'm just going to pass on this game for bets.
2 for 2. AP is 3 for 3, or you got some?
I mean, I don't Like I don't play the Mets that much. I don't like these spots too, where you get these long relievers. Got to respect the Rays. Just always going to adjust there. It's a big slate tonight. It's fine on slates like this to just cross spots off. So I'm locked arm in arm with you guys. I think this is that spot you cross off. Even if I was running 150, I think I'd be crossing this game off.
Yeah, even if I don't run 150, none of us three here do. It's very hard to run 150 with the payout structures, the variance. If you 150 every day in MLB, congrats to you. You're doing something right. But you still have to make fades on a 12-game slate, even playing 150 teams. So you can't stack it all up. 4 to 6, something like that, the sweet spot. So, yeah, I'd probably still cross this game off as well. Keeping it rolling, Milwaukee Brewers, St. Louis Cardinals, Wade Miley, Jordan Montgomery on the mound. AP, I'll go back to you. You're not going to play the Brewers against Montgomery, but are you going to play the Cardinals, who absolutely put up a nuke yesterday against good old Wade Miley?
Yeah, I mean, Wade Miley. So, this Cardinals team is fully awake. I mean, they've been hitting really good. Nato, he's running hot. Sometimes those hot streaks cool off. I think we saw that yesterday with who was that? One of the Yankees hitters. But, man, I love this Cardinals team against lefties. And Wade Miley, his velocity and everything has been pretty consistent. He's not like missing any bats though right now. The swing strike rate's still really low. His fly ball rate's up big time, which sets up well for this Cardinals team. I like the righties here. This sets up for me for a really nice right-handed power stack against Miley. And if we get Goldie in there, Contreras has been an absolute beast against left-handed pitching, and then you got Arenado. So, for me, this spot really sets up well for one of those three-man power stacks, and that's kind of how I like to approach it here. The other side of this game,
you ain't playing the Brewers.
No, they've been pretty bad against lefties. So, I think Brian Anderson had his moments against lefties, and then William Contreras. Has been the other guy that's actually been decent against lefties. Outside of that, everyone is striking out left to right, and they've been really bad against left-handed pitching. So I'm going to be off the Brewers here. I like the Cardinals, power righties.
Gary, you like to make fun of my Brew Crew anytime you get a chance. You're not playing them. Are you stacking against them?
Man, I hate going to a team that just goes crazy the night before. I still see their ownership is low, but they're going to pick up. They're going to pick up steam, I think. They're going to be more than 5%, I think. Don't you think?
So, maybe.
I mean, they just went off for 18 runs. Yeah. Crazy. I mean, I don't hate it for mini stacks, but definitely like the other spots more.
That's why I think it sets up good for a mini stack. I don't see them nuking again like they did, and so that's why I'm not going to 5-man stack it. But
I'm not sure.
I could see a couple bombs from Nato and Goldie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in for some mini stacks. I'll have them in my pool of 20, and I'm not going to try to jam them in. But if I get some, I'll be fine with it, and we'll move on about our day.
I like it. We'll keep it rolling. Next game, Gary, Atlanta Braves, Texas Rangers, Jared Schuster, Dane Dunning on the mound. Any Braves for you? Any Rangers for you?
Man, this Dane Dunning guy has just been lucky. He is not this good. But, man, he throws 5 pretty decent pitches, which for me is tough to stack against a guy like that. He just throws a lot of junk. I'm not going to be 5-man in my Braves today just because, I prefer him against the other side of the plate. But I will have some Texas. I really like Texas here today. Jared Schuster is just not ready to be a big league pitcher. He's got a 20% walk rate on the season. He's not really giving up too much power, but man, 20% walk rate, and this Texas team likes to run a lot. They got a big boy 5 run total. I like all these guys here in this lineup. I don't think Seager is going to be back today. They haven't announced. I'm seeing he's in the Sabre projected lineup. I don't think he's gotten the call. I think he's going to be tomorrow. But if Seager's back in the lineup today, tomorrow, I'll be in on Texas for sure. But I do like Texas quite a bit. I'm going to be 5-man on them. Anytime I see a pitcher with such a high walk rate, I mean, they're just going to, what's that, cue the GIF in Discord with them marching around the bases. So it's a perfect, ideal way. And you can go top to bottom of this lineup because everybody's going to be walking. They're going to be trying to steal bags, even though Murphy's going to be behind the plate. He's a really good defensive catcher. But I'm still not worried about it. I like Texas quite a bit here. And I will say I'll leave Atlanta in for some three-mans. Who is it? Pilar? Is he in the lineup? Oh, no, he's not in the lineup today. But, man, Pilar, man, that dude has been awesome for the Braves this year. They got Hilliard in there in the 9-hole. Don't hate it.
I like the 9-1-2-3, Gary. Those guys all profile pretty well.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit as well. But I'm probably going to stick with the cheaper guys. Arcia, Hilliard. Harris just looks really lost at the plate right now. I'll probably leave him out. Rosario, probably leave him out. But I like Hilliard, Hilliard and Arcia, and of course Sean Murphy. I always like Sean Murphy. The dude is just a beast. Ever since K. Fallick made fun of the trade before I left for my Thailand trip, he has just been nuking everywhere. So definitely prefer
K. Fallick.
Definitely prefer the Texas side here for a 5-man stack. So
are you saying K. Fallick to like William Contreras more? Is that what you were saying, or what part?
Well, no, he was saying like, "Oh, Sean Murphy's not that good, and this and that. He had one good year in Oakland, and this and that, and then ever since then, he's just been. He leads the league in WAR right now. I think all hitters.
Yeah, he has been a fire. I think. AP, what I thought. K. Fat, what you got to say about big old Sean Murphy? AP, go to this game. What are your thoughts on the Braves or the Rangers?
Yeah, I'm locked arm in arm with Gary here. It's been night and day for this Braves team. Against left-handed pitching, they absolutely crush. Against right-handed pitching, they're not very good. Not very good at all. What's that other gif where it's like, I don't know if it's like a tiger or whatever, and then it's, the pussier one. I forget what it is.
I know what Gary's one was. I don't know which one you're talking about.
I'll find it and I'll send it in chat. But you could play 1, 2, 3 on the Braves side, but I'm Gary. I'm with you. I think the Rangers rebound here. I really like them against this lefty and Schuster. You can go right to Josh Young. I prefer to call him Hung Jung, and then Jonah Heim, our guy, the 5 and 6 hitter there. And Duran's been hitting really, really well as well. And then you can always play Adolis Garcia. So I think
the Braves' long relievers have just been taxed too the last few games. So, I mean, if they get to Schuster, I mean, they're going to be going to guys like Jesse Chavez and some other guys that have not been good. This Braves bullpen has been a severe letdown the last few weeks. I mean, they've just been really tired. Their starters have been beaten up for the last couple.
Dunning is, like you said, he's tough to attack as well. He's given up no bombs on the year, which is crazy. And, I think that trend – I'm not playing Dane Dunning against this team. There's too many good pitching options to do that. I just think he doesn't get beat up. I think he, maybe gets 11, 12 DK points but doesn't get hit, doesn't get beat up too much. I like the Rangers side. I think they bounce back in a big way, and I think they get a win. So
I will say there is a little bit of revenge here too. Robbie Grossman in the 2-hole. He played for the Braves last year, so – 2,900. That's a pretty good price.
I like that. So if you're a betting person, I like the Rangers. I think this series kind of goes back and forth. I think the Rangers get this game, and then I think the Braves get the next one.
I like it.
If they do play one more, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I like it. We'll keep it rolling. Next game on the slate. It's a pass for me. If it's the same for you, don't need to waste too much time on it. Justin Steele, Christian Javier, 7.5 total. Gary?
Yeah, no bats for me in this game. Easy peasy.
AP.
I mean, I always I run 20 max, and I always leave Yordong in there. I don't even care who you're against, and as kind of a power one-off. And I always bump up his projection. I think he's a guy that's constantly under projected. And outside of him, I don't sorry, K. Fallick, but I do think you probably agree with me right now. I don't like this Astros lineup outside of Kyle Tucker and Yordong. So it's definitely a pass if you're talking about full stacking. But if I can get Yordong at really low ownership, which we will tonight, he's going to be in consideration for me as a power one-off.
Yeah, never. No one's ever going to argue against little Yordong. We'll keep full stacking though. I don't think that's the game you should go to. Keeping it rolling.
I mean, and then Javier, he's gonna be mega chalk tonight, isn't he? Like this lineup that the Cubs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Eric Hosmer down there. Oh man,
Tucker
Barnhart. I mean, are you kidding me? Yeah, Javier is going to be a great option tonight.
Absolutely. Ownership will definitely follow. Keeping it rolling, though. Pretty chilly one in Chicago. Cleveland Guardians, Chicago White Sox, Shane Bieber, Lance Lynn on the mound. AP, 60 degrees, 8.5 total. 2 solid pitchers. Anything?
Yeah, no, like I didn't talk about Shane Bieber because I think if you are a 150 play, I think you put him in your pool. So again, take this with a grain of salt. It was against the Detroit Tigers, but if you do a deep dive, go in there, look at his advanced metrics. He had the slider dialed in his last start against Detroit. If you see that here against the White Sox, who have been pretty bad on the season, like they've been horrible to be honest. I think Bieber could have a good outing. How can I play him over a lot of the guys that we already mentioned? I can't put him over those guys. But again, if you're running a lot of lineups, I think he's another guy that I would consider. But due to that, I can't play the White Sox here. And then again, I said I'm on Lance Lynn as a large field tournament play as leverage, since most people will be double spending up. I do think Lance Lynn bounces back, even though he was horrendous against the Royals. The Royals just had his number that game. I'm telling you, it was you watching the game, you just knew it. They just looked locked in. They had something on him. I think he bounces back though, because there's a lot of things in his arsenal that look decent, mainly his four seam. And if you look at this Guardians lineup, yeah, I'm not really worried about anyone now with Jose Ramirez out.
I like it. What about you, Gary? Any interest in bats in this one?
Yeah, I just can't do it. This Cleveland team, I mean, they have not been good the last couple of weeks, like I said earlier. And J-Ram is out of the lineup. I mean, they have a bunch of singles hitters in their lineup. Yeah, they're cheap. They got 2,100, 2,200, 2,900, 3,300, which fits with the double stud pitching, but I still can't do it. I like other spots later on the slate. So, yeah, no bats for me on this game.
Bringing it right back to you, Gary. Coors Field, big boy total, 12.5. Brandon Williamson, Chase Anderson on the mound, 2 pitchers that should not be in the big leagues. Head into Coors Field. Ownership's obviously going to be here, but what are you doing?
So I talked to Steve a lot, obviously, and I've kind of been following his lead here. I have not been five-man stacking either team in Coors pretty much the whole season. I'm not going to start here tonight. Just the ownership was just crazy. MLB is the highest variance sport there is, one of them anyway. So I will not be five-man here, but I will say this Cincinnati pitcher is really, really bad. I definitely prefer the Colorado side. So I might just full fade Cincinnati, even in mini stacks. I'll probably leave them in the pool and see if I get any. And if I get too much, I'll probably lower them. But I definitely prefer the Colorado side here. But just for 2 to 3 mans for me, I'm not going to full 5-man them.
Garrett, you got a favorite? Like, I'm with you. Like, I love what you said about Coors. That's what I've been doing. I've been actually almost full fading it. But if I do get exposure there, it's usually like a one-off or like a mini stack. Do you got any favorite bat? Sorry, Tyler, not meaning to jump in, but just because like the Rockies have been cheeks, man. They woke up yesterday a little bit, but it was Mike Moustakas that woke up,
and Brenton Doyle, 2,900 in the outfield. He's a good option in the 7-hole. I mean, I'm going to stick. Elias Diaz is a catcher that I always like. He always treats me well for the most part, so like him. Ezekiel Tovar, 3,100 at the shortstop position. That's a pretty good price. Batting in the 9-hole, he's not going to be owned. He's probably going to be 10% owned or less. So definitely like those guys towards the bottom. Doyle, Diaz, even though he's in the 3 spot, I like him as a catcher option, and Tovar.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, AP?
No, I was instead of interrupting you, Title, since you're doing such a fantastic job, I was going to let you say something before I chimed in.
No, you asked the question. I mean, no 5-man stack for
yeah, but okay, but sometimes like having a hard set rule like that is not a good approach. if we all understand Colorado has been kind of cheeks. Look at their pricing though, and look at the texture of the slate. We want expensive pitching. We already talked about it. Like we got really nice pitching options. You need the salary to do so. Maybe it is time we go full 5-man. I think the Colorado side likely to be maybe a little bit more contrarian than the other side. I don't know, Title, do you have a read on ownership in this game?
Yeah, I mean, just because you get the punch shortstop that's min price at 2K, Spencer Steer, like the Reds pieces fit more where they're going to be more concentrated for sure. Not Rockies are definitely getting ownership, but when you see the Reds having a lower implied total than Rockies, but the ownership being flipped, it is a little weird.
Yeah, and when you look at this team, it looks like I'm gonna have to play around with some of these 5-man stacks on the side because it looks kind of gross. They're so cheap too. It just with how gross it is, and it's like if you're 5-man stacking it and you look at that lineup and you're like, man, we're really just banking on Coors nuking. It can happen though. It's Coors Field. You can have like the outfield is just so big. Holden talks about it all the time. It almost is like an old school Royals game where it's just you're getting singles, doubles all game. Now you factor in stolen bases, which they should be. I don't have the best read on which pitchers allow that, but I don't think this Reds pitcher is going to be one that's trying to get guys out. I like the Rockies. I think I'm going to consider some Rockies 5-man just because I know if I want Kershaw, Gausman, double spend up there, or even Javier, add him into the mix, you're going to need some cheap backs. And the Rockies side and the Red side, far too cheap here. And maybe Coors is starting to wake up. We know the temperature is starting to get up there. The hitting condition, the hitting environment is going to be really, really good here in Coors Field. Maybe we get on early. I might have sold myself on Coors tonight.
Yeah, the one we talked about earlier, Matt McClain in the 2-hole shortstop, full punt at 2K, will be the highest owned bat on the slate. If you are like, I think one-offing him would be the worst thing you can do. If you're stacking other teams, you come here and play a 5-2-1 or something, he's your one-off, I think you're doing it wrong. You might be 35, 40%. If you're 5-man stacking the Reds, yeah, I think it's fine throwing him in there, but don't think it's the best as a one-off. Likelihood, if he goes off, probably the whole Coors stack or the whole Red stack, or at least other pieces in that stack are going off that other people will have. So my thoughts there. We got 4 games left on the slate, 375 watching, 128 likes. That's hurtful. AP gave out $88 tickets, 128. Let's try and get 200. We'll get you the plays of the day. Gary's back today, but 200 I think is a fair number. We appreciate if you do hit that like button for us. 4 games left. AP's Kansas City Royals taking on San Diego Padres. Brady Singer, Seth Lugo on the mound. Don't think you're playing your Royals tonight, AP. Tell me if I'm wrong, but are you picking on your Royals?
Yeah, no. Like I said, I like Lugo here. I think this is going to be a tough road trip for the Royals. They're going to be an up and down team, but hitting wise, they're bad. Don't get me wrong. I know I get all kinds of shit for being a homer and stuff, but look,
yeah, you got your team. They aren't no cheese, AP.
Yeah, no, they're no cheese. They have no pitching. They have no pitching at all. But this Padres team, I mean, on paper, yeah, you got some big bats here. They're going to get really hot, but they've been pretty cold. You get Brady Singer. Brady Singer's having a really bad year. He can occasionally show up, get lucky. Happened his last start. It's one of those things like I could get on board with a full stack of the Padres, but the Padres have been cold too. And the park's big. I don't like this park. It's not like it's that warm there, 60 degrees. I'm under on this game. I don't like Singer at all. It would not surprise me if he got absolutely rocked like we've seen on the road multiple times this season. He looked okay in his last start, but again, all of his starts, just going back to last year's title, he was so much better at home, which even hasn't been the case this year, and he's just been horrendous on the road. He's on the road again. He got some big bats. I do like Stevie Boynton's boy, Hadon Kim. If you're looking for a pivot off of the chalk, McClain in the other game, you could go Bogarts as well. I'm looking like a shortstop. It's an interesting position on the slate to get some leverage because Matt McClain has to garner a ton of ownership, and so if you're looking for a different route, yeah, I could get behind some of those guys, but the Padres have been cold too. So I think this. Like at the end of the day, I think this game ends up being like a 3-1 Padres win or a 4-1 Padres win. it's just gross, boring, one that's better to fade.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. But yeah, your boy Brady Singer, it was hurtful. I was a believer. I had a little too much in best ball, and right now not looking too great for good old Brady Singer. Maybe tonight we can get back on track. Gary, I'm not seeing too much. Not the best hitting weather in San Diego. What do you like?
Man, I kind of like San Diego a lot in this spot. Brady Singer, the highest exit velocity allowed on the slate of any pitcher this season, 13% barrel percentage, 58% hard hit percentage. Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto are starting to wake up. My only issue here with the 5-man stack is they are expensive because you're going to want Tatis, you're going to want Soto, you're going to want Bogarts. Maybe throw in the Ha-Dong Kim in there as the fourth guy. And maybe a Trent Grisham. So, I'm going to have them in my pool, the 5-man tonight. I just think Singer is just really bad. He's getting hit all over the place by righties, by lefties. And I think it could be a wake-up spot here for the Padres at home. So, I like the Padres here quite a bit, and they're definitely being my 5-man stacking pool tonight.
I like it. We'll keep it rolling. Next game on the slate, Arizona Diamondbacks, Oakland Athletics. Kyle Mueller, Tommy Henry on the mound. We talk about it. It's the A's. The A's, we like picking on. Their bullpen is absolute cheeks. Guaranteed ninth inning at bat for the Diamondbacks. Mike, shout out to you. You love when I say guaranteed ninth inning at bat. How do you not like it when I think the D-backs already have 10 going to the ninth inning and you get your at bat? At least you hope they don't get pulled. Give me the Diamondbacks' favorite sack yesterday. Probably my favorite sack again today. Gary, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I absolutely love the D-backs. Kyle Mueller, former Brave, just is not good. 92% exit velocity, which is up there on the slate, 14% barrel percentage, 50% hard hit rate. And the bullpen is just atrocious behind them. Like this lineup, top to bottom. Lourdes Gurriel, 3,900, love it. Christian Walker could get going here. This could be a nice spot for him to get going. Looking further down. Oh, my dude Perdomo is not in the lineup. Well, that stinks. I do like Perdomo.
He launched one yesterday.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, he's not in the lineup tonight. I was going to go massively. He is would have been a perfect shortstop play over the 2K guy. But man, that kind of stinks a little bit. But Nick Ahmed, he's 2,700. You can put him in there. Don't hate it. But yeah, I absolutely love the D-backs, and I don't hate the Oakland A's either. If it was a small slate, day slate, I'd probably be 5-man in Oakland here. I just can't do it on such a massive slate, but I'll leave them open for mini stacks.
Well, I like it. AP, I like the D-backs. Gary likes the D-backs. Do you like yourself some D-backs?
Yeah, not a nice spot. The price is nice as well. I like what Gary had to say about Kyle Mueller. Not good. And then Tommy Henry on the other side doesn't look very good either. I like this A's team a little bit against lefties. Rooker, he's been really good. Diaz, Ruiz, all these guys can hit. I think this does set up to be a game where you could I think the contrarian way to play it would be like a 5-3 from the A's side, though, stacking up the A's side, hoping they bounce back against the D-backs. So I got this game circled as one that I'm going to look at fully stacking, just because I think we could see a big score here. And sometime in these games too, you see it all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the night we look down at this game and it's 11-8. Either side winning. It seems like a game, an environment where we could see a lot of production. So and that's what you need at this park. Not going to get a lot of bombs, but the production should be there against this bad bullpen, like you both said. So I'm on board. I think D-backs are fully in play, 5-man stacks, or the A's as well. The A's side being far more contrarian. The price tags are super nice as well. Carlos Perez right there, 2.7, batting fourth. Rooker, 4.3. That's not a bad price tag for him. Love him against lefties like we talked about. So I like this side. I think A's is going to be more contrarian, and you run it back with the 3-man, full stack it up.
I like it. I don't know. You like the A's a little more than me. You got to read on it. I don't think Tommy Henry's too good, but I definitely do.
It's not my favorite spot, but when you look at Laureano, Aguilar, some of these guys, they've been much better against lefties versus righties.
Yeah, no, I get it. They're going to be low owned. Tommy Henry, I don't think is very great either. So I get it for sure. 2 games left on the slate. Do appreciate if you hit that like button. Let's try and get 200. Got 400 watching. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday so far. Philadelphia Phillies, San Francisco Giants, Zach Wheeler, Alex Cobb. Gary, you can say pass if you don't got anything because I don't think it's a good game.
Yeah, easy pass for me. I will say I'll probably leave Bryce Harper in my pool as a one-off just in case.
AP.
Yeah, I mean, we don't like attacking Cobb. He's been pretty good. I do like this Philly lineup a little bit against righties. You just got Schwarber, Harper. These guys can get hot at any time. Like Harper's been really struggling against lefties. He's doing all of his damage against righties. So, again, like I say, at the end of the night, I wouldn't be surprised if Harper got there. But he's 6K. For me, what I do is I got to look at the other options in that range. And it's just like with Yordong. Like right now, I'd prefer Yordong over like a Harper one-off. So while I like the pitching here, I wouldn't like talk anyone off of if they had a read on the Phillies and specifically the lefties here against Cobb. But it's not one of the better spots to attack for sure. And then, I can't get on board with the Giants against Wheeler. I think Wheeler's going to be a really nice option. Not a pitcher we want to attack at all, just so good at limiting damage. So the Giants, for me, very easy fade on this slate.
Yeah, if that game beats me, it beats me. Last game on the slate, though, Minnesota Twins, Los Angeles Dodgers, Bailey Ober, Clayton Kershaw on the mound. If the Twins beat Kershaw and are on the winner, I'll move on to tomorrow pretty comfortably. As far as the Dodgers, talk about yesterday, though, they were on the winner. They made some people some cheese. AP going to any Dodgers in this one, and tell me if there's no way you're going to the Twins. I won't even bring that up.
No, I mean you can't do that. Like Bailey Ober, like not like a pitcher we typically want to attack, but this Dodgers line, like, so what does Ober do? Like, at least on the season that I'm seeing, he gives up fly balls. He does limit hard hits a little bit, but if he's getting hit, usually for fly balls, what are the Dodgers doing right now? They're hitting the piss out of the ball. Like, top to bottom, this team profiles really well against lefties and righties. And for some reason, it's kind of like last season too, Title. This Dodgers team, maybe it's just because we never get a lineup like right away. Maybe people are just like, I don't want to worry about it.
The West Coast games always go lower owned. It's always that. Like,
so who were they facing last night? I actually respect. I think I had some respect for that pitcher, and so I'm like, I just am not going to go there.
Pablo Lopez. Yesterday.
Pablo Lopez, yeah, they crushed him.
Yeah.
If you're getting to Pablo Lopez, yeah, I could definitely get behind a Dodgers low and full stack, and I think you full stack it. That's why I think Lynn's going to be relevant on this slate. If you go Lynn plus a stud, 5-man the Dodgers, you're going to be so contrarian tonight. And just think about it. Like, it's the Dodgers. The Dodgers could put up 12 runs tonight and ship you a tournament again. And they're not – right now, I'm not seeing a lot of ownership on them at all. Like, what do you think their ownership might be?
No, I think like combined, I think you can – most of this, you'll get a 5-man stack with all of them in single digits. And in baseball, you look at the shippers every day, like the 15, the 18. This is one of the only sports, this and probably NHL, where you can have every single person be below 10% and still make a good lineup. That's baseball for you. If you stack teams, low-owned teams go off. And hockey, same type of hockey and baseball, if you play them, very, very similar sports. Like, these Dodgers will be single digits. You can play Lynn with them. It's different than NBA. You're never going to see the winner all have players under 10% owned. That's just not a thing. So, I can definitely endorse a full stack here. And the thing about Ober, too, is those fly balls, he's actually getting hit harder by right-handed hitting. And, the fly ball numbers are insane. So I think you can go lefties and righties here, full 5-man stack. I like it. I'm on board. Sit back, let the slate pan out, and then when the Doyers start up, crack a beverage and sit back, collect your winnings. And then, I'm not on the Twins side at all. Or if you go to bed a little early, sometimes like myself as of late, not tonight, I'll be out tonight, but otherwise you wake up and you get some more cheese in your account, and it's a surprise to see what you wake up with the Dodgers going off late. But, I don't mind it. I don't know. There's other spots I do like more, though, but with their ownership, I'll never call you crazy playing this lineup. Gary, what do you got?
Yeah, so I have 5 teams in my pool on Sabre to 5-man. The Dodgers are the last one of the 5. Can't go wrong with some late night hammer. Dodgers. Bailey Over, he's got a 5.5 xFIP versus lefties, a 3.5 xFIP versus righties. His strikeout rate dropped significantly versus lefties, so obviously I definitely prefer the lefties here. Muncy, Freeman, Outman, those 3 guys specifically. Always like Will Smith as a catcher option, 4,600. Muncy has just been on fire too. So yeah, I definitely, and I might have to use like a David Peralta type guy, 2,200. He's just cheap, and I'm trying to spend up a pitcher as much as possible. But in lineups that maybe I have like a Lance Lynn and a Jordan Montgomery, maybe I can fit all the studs here for the Dodgers. So yeah, I definitely like the Dodgers here a ton.
I like it. That is all 12 games on this slate. It's a good one. I think there's multiple hitting options, multiple lower-owned pitching options as well. Get you the top 3 sacks from both guys. We'll get you the plays of the day too. Do appreciate it.
We got the Royals lineup. We got free money Freddie Furman out there. I mean, this lineup, yeah, he's hit some bombs and stuff, but this lineup's pretty gross. Seth Lugo should shove. I don't think I could endorse like a Lugo Lynn. I mean, that would be ultra contrarian with this slate, but I think you got to pick one of those 2 and then spend up. But Lugo should have a good night.
Yeah, I agree. Royals lineup, not scary one bit. AP, top 3 stacks. What you got today?
Yeah, so top 3 stacks for me. If we're talking, like honestly, like if we're talking full stack, like I like the Cardinals, but the problem is, can they nuke like they did yesterday? I'm with you guys. I don't think so. So that would be a mini stack. So I got to rank that one down a little bit further. I'm going to say my top stack, I think I talked myself into a Dodgers 5-man. I think it's going to be hard to make it work. We don't have a lineup yet. But all those things play into our hand. That's what we want. We don't want a lineup before initial lock. People set their lineups. They like to know who is in and who is out. People are not patient at all. So that right there is going to be a nice edge. So I'm going to say a 5-man Dodgers stack. I kind of like the Colorado Rockies. I don't know if you can 5-man it, but I can endorse a Coors stack on this slate. And then the D-backs, like we talked about, that game, I think the Oakland side is going to be a little bit more contrarian. But it's really close between them and the Rangers. So I'll give you 4 because I got to include the Rangers there. I think the Rangers are going to have a really nice day against Schuster. So let's go Dodgers, Rangers, and then a coin flip between Coors and mini Coors, which is the Oakland game.
I like it. Gary, what you got? Top 3.
Top 3, I'm pretty much in alignment here with AP. Seattle's definitely my top stack on the slate. Then I like Arizona and the Dodgers. But Texas is not far behind the Dodgers. So those would be my top 4.
Awesome stuff. I'll give 1. I like the D-backs.
No, we need 3. We need 3 from Tidal. Come on, Tidal. I need your pitching takes too, Tidal.
Kershaw. I
just Kershaw?
Kershaw anchored, and then you can mix in the Lins of the world.
Who's going to be the highest owned, you think?
Javier,
and then where do you think Kershaw is gonna land ownership wise?
I probably like 4, 5. I think Wheeler gets more ownership. Probably he'll be around like the Montgomery. I think Gossman might get a little more. I think Kershaw's around 4 or 5. But yeah, Javier I definitely think will be the highest owned. As far as bats, I like D-backs 1. I like the other side. I like the Rockies too. The other side, I mean, they're going to get some ownership, but Coors Field. Reds are going to get a lot more ownership. That total is just too high for me. Give me the Rocky side. If I had to pick a third, man, third's a little tough. Maybe the Cardinals. I don't know. Wade Miley. The Cardinals might be getting hot. That lineup's been so good. They've been quiet for so long. Yesterday might have sparked something. Gary might be right that their ownership creeps up a bit, but what I'm seeing right now in 12-game slate, I still don't think it's too crazy. So I'll go with those 3, D-backs, Rockies, and the Cardinals. We'll go game by game. I did see, though, I put in Discord, 17 more Sundays. I got up this morning. Something sparked me doing all these best ball drafts. Speaking of best ball, we will have best ball content starting up pretty soon. Big contest, multiple sites. So we got you covered over here in the best ball streets. But I had to count it. 17 more Sundays till football. Very excited with that. We got PGA Championship this week, though. MMA, all the sports going on. One price. How to run Pure Sports. Use the promo code Gary15, 15% off. Plays of the day time. I'll start with myself first. The SO play of the day. Going to the Diamondbacks, my favorite stack. Going to Christian Walker in the 4-hole. I think he gets right today. Gary was talking about it a little bit. Christian Walker, the SO play of the day. Gary, great to have you back. The Braves, the groundhog play of the day. Gary, I just noticed. So this is Gary hitting the basketball out of the park with a nice chain like Ronald Acuna. I like that. What you got for us?
Yeah, man. So I want to go from my favorite stack of the slate. I mentioned him earlier. I told you he was going to hit a dong. Well, he might hit 2 tonight because I think Jared Kelenick's going to go bonkers tonight. I like him quite a bit here, 4,700 for the Seattle Mariners.
Love it. Jared Kelenick, the groundhog play of the day. AP, gentlemen's call of the day. Cap it off for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the pitcher. I gotta go to. I can't call him my boy at all, but so like Lance Lynn, I, as an SP2 contrarian option, maybe with Jose out, projections, looking at this lineup, maybe he gets bumped up, gets some late steam. I think you're going to need a value SP2 because I think we're going to want one of these big boy stacks, Dodgers, Rangers, etc. Lance Lynn, 10 strikeouts against the Rays not long ago. And I believe it was like one of his last innings there where he gave up 3 or 4 earned runs. That doesn't happen. He has a nice day against one of the best teams in baseball. I think he gets us double-digit strikeouts tonight in a bounce-back spot against the Guardians. So Lance Lynn going with pitching option as my play of the day.
Love it. Lance Lynn, Jared Kelenick, Christian Walker, the 3 plays of the day. Before we do get on out of here for the premium show, AP, Nuggets, Lakers, Nuggets, -6.5. I do see on DK, -6. Always make sure to price shop out there. What's your side today?
Yeah, I've been going back and forth. I like the late. So like I've been saying it for a while. I think we get Lakers, Celtics. Actually, we were on the bet show. We were saying it months ago. I know our guy Kay Fallick is holding on to some Lakers tickets. I think he's hedging that with Denver. I think, yeah, he definitely is. I just got the NBA scriptwriters title. I know I'm not a conspiracy guy. I don't believe in it, but you can't tell me they're going to allow this Denver team to get there over LeBron and the Lakers. I think it's like this first game's always tough, but if you look at what the Lakers have done, they've been awesome in game 1. It's like they know they need to get this win. Denver's been very good entirely throughout the series so far too. This is going to be an incredible game tonight. I give the edge to the Lakers just because I think they got the role players dialed in. I even think we could see some revenge in this series, maybe with Malik Beasley. Who knows? He's been absolute cheeks though. Hasn't helped them out at all. It's been Lonnie Walker, but I think this Lakers team just has so many different pieces that they can go to. I think AD, as our guy Big T talks about, does an awesome job on Jokic. I think that's going to be huge. The only way I see Denver winning this series is if Aaron Gordon steps up. MPJ, he's got to hit those outside shots. Otherwise, I give the edge to the Lakers. I got them in the series. This first game is going to be interesting, though. The side, it's a toss-up. I slightly lean the Lakers side.
You're talking Malik Beasley revenge, pulling that a little far. KCP. KCP. KCP revenge. There you go. That one might matter a little more. I'm on the Nuggets. Yoke's the best player in the game right now. There's no doubt about that. There's no Embiid. There's no Giannis. There's no one's in that conversation with Yoke right now. I think he leads the Nuggets to the finals. So I'm on them. I like -6.
Yeah, who's he faced though? He faced a guy that doesn't care. DeAndre Ayton last game. Like matter. This is. You don't think it will matter?
No, I don't. I think that pick and roll with Jamal and all the role players. I think you're right though. Aaron Gordon is going to be the big one.
Look at how good Aaron Gordon was on. Like good, he was awesome on Kevin Durant. Yeah. They're going to throw him right on LeBron. So, yeah, you guys might be right. I'm not betting this first game, but I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, Gary, any takes on that before we get on out of here?
Man, I'm torn on that series because my pocket wants the Lakers because I got a 50-1 ticket. My heartstrings wants Joker to own everybody, win the title. So
something will be happy. Something.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'll be happy with either outcome, but I'll have more money in my pocket if the Lakers win the title. So put it that way.
Absolutely. And last thing, Greg, please don't rush the summer title. NFL will be here soon enough. You are absolutely right. Always do live in the moment. But, hey, got to admit, there is nothing better in this world.
I know I'm excited for NFL.
There's nothing better in this world than free money Sunday, man. That will never change. Always be special in my heart. So, yeah, I mean, I'm already picking a lot of best ball drafts going on. Got me in the NFL mood a little bit. But I agree.
Oh, hey, Todd, real quick. PJ Championship Week. We got an awesome lineup tonight. I will be hosting that show at 8:30 Eastern. I got my guy, cut maker Jeff, to come back on. He was on with us for the Masters. He scooped me. I got to admit it. We had 3 head-to-heads where we picked golfers. He won all 3. I got to get my revenge on him tonight. Got to get that Venmo request moving. The best thing about it too is like he doesn't have all that stuff. He had to do it through his wife, and she actually sent me the money. I'm getting money on my God. But it was worse because then I had to send double back to make it all right.
Love it. Yeah, check out that huge week in the golf streets, Millie Makers, a lot of stuff. We'll have content as always. Gary 15% off. Go to the Up to Lock show. Go to the live show chat in Discord. Get all your questions answered. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Like button, big red subscribe on the way out. Let's see some RPS logos up top for Gary, AP. I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.